Some anime characters become popular, some become iconic, and then there are characters like Rem, a character so beloved that years after her debut, fans still debate whether she was the true heroine of Re:Zero. But here's the interesting part. Rem wasn't introduced as a hero. She wasn't the main character, and at first, many viewers didn't even like her. So how did she become one of the most beloved anime characters of all time? Why did millions of fans around the world fall in love with Rem? This is the story of why Rem became a fan favorite. Before Rem became a fan favorite, she was just a girl who hated herself. Growing up, she lived alongside her twin sister, Ram, and in every way that seemed to matter, Ram was better, stronger, more talented, more admired. While others praised Ram, Rem quietly stood beside her, watching, comparing, doubting herself. Over time, she began believing something dangerous, that she would never be enough. When Rem first appeared in Re:Zero, she wasn't exactly lovable. In fact, many viewers were shocked by how ruthless she could be. She distrusted Subaru, she judged him harshly, and in some of the series' most brutal moments, she became one of his greatest threats. At that point, nobody expected her to become one of anime's most beloved characters. But that's exactly what made her story so powerful. Because Rem wasn't perfect, she was flawed, and those flaws made her feel real. Then came the moment that changed everything. As Subaru's struggles grew worse, most people saw his failures, his mistakes, his weaknesses. But Rem saw something different. She saw someone trying, someone suffering, someone refusing to give up. And for the first time in a long time, someone believed in Subaru when he couldn't believe in himself. That single decision changed both of their lives, and it changed how fans viewed Rem forever. There is one scene that fans still talk about years later, one conversation, one confession, one moment. When Subaru was ready to abandon everything, Rem reminded him who he really was. She acknowledged his flaws, his failures, his fears, but she also reminded him of his strengths, his kindness, his determination, his heart. It wasn't just a love confession, it was a lifeline, and many fans connected deeply with that moment because everyone wants someone who believes in them when they stop believing in themselves. Many people misunderstand why Rem became popular. It wasn't simply because she loved Subaru. Anime is filled with love interests. Most aren't remembered the way Rem is. What made Rem special was her selflessness, her loyalty, her willingness to sacrifice everything for the people she cared about. She wasn't loved because she was perfect. She was loved because she was genuine. At her core, Rem represents something many people understand, the feeling of not being good enough, the feeling of living in someone else's shadow, the desire to be accepted, to matter, to be loved. And through her journey, she learns that her worth isn't defined by comparisons, it's defined by who she chooses to be. That's a lesson that resonates with countless viewers. Rem's story isn't about being the strongest character, or the smartest, or even the most important. It's about kindness, loyalty, and believing in others when they need it most. She began her journey doubting herself, living in the shadow of someone else, but through her actions, she became unforgettable. And that's why, years later, fans still talk about her, not because she was perfect, but because she was human. And that's why Rem became a fan favorite.